Well, Chris, I understand that you have some problems. You're trying to cure with M&Ms.
You know,
Best excuse to have M&Ms.
I got problems, but closing loans ain't one.
You got that right, baby. Now,
How you doing, baby?
I'm doing great. Now, I dare to work with a lender that can do these three things that this guy does. First of all, impeccable customer service, on-time closings, and the best omelets in town.
They are really good. I eat them all myself as well. I would eat them all myself, which I had done for a long time, which is why I'm now slimming down. But it also helps to work with the best real estate agent around who knows how to negotiate, who's unbiased in his getting individuals into a home, and who follows up beyond belief to make sure that the client is happy, satisfied, negotiates with confidence, and more importantly, just does the right thing every time.
I'm getting emotional. Thank you. But anyway, welcome to Between Two M&Ms.
Between two M&Ms.
From the creative genius of Chris Kelso.
No, Raul. I just eat them. That's why.
Look, we have a lot of fun doing this, but in all reality, first of all, did you know that today, this weekend is Veterans Weekend?
That's correct.
Absolutely. And
Thank you to all of our veterans, past, present, and future, who are serving, have served, and will serve. We would not be doing this show if it wasn't for you and the wonderful service you do for this country in keeping our freedom of speech and all of our freedoms unified and protected. So
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
So to you, veterans out there, is now we tell you, how can we help you? How can we make it happen for you? I know that a lot of you out there want to get a house, and we want to make that happen for you. So the two of us can help you. We're going to bring our guest here who also helps veterans. And just between the two of us, Chris and I, we are adding $2,000 to our closing costs. $2,000, so $1,000 a piece.
$1,000 a piece. And what that means is a lot of times you have closing costs associated. So a typical VA loan, you can do 100% financing for up to $484,350. It's about to change in January, but 100% financing, but you still have closing costs. So one of the things that we want to do to give back to our veterans is Raul's giving $1,000, I'm giving $1,000 towards closing costs. Now, the VA loan already has some reduced fees associated with it. So imagine getting an additional $2,000 towards your closing costs when you buy a home by using both of us. It's $2,000, by the way. And so it's our little way of saying thank you very much. We want to be able to help you. We want to get you into a home. More importantly, we want to do the right thing, the right time for you. Excuse me, for everything that you do for us. So
absolutely. And I know that the veterans are not necessarily trained to go ask for things. They're used to, they're trained to serve, to do their job. They're trained U.S. soldiers. So we want to make sure that you understand that we want to help you in turn. This is our time to help you. So if you want to get into a house, call one of us. We'll have our contact information here shortly.
And we will have M&Ms available for you.
Absolutely.
Just telling you.
Jar.
If you're feeling nutty one day, or you're just feeling hey, you want to come and plain, we got both of them. So don't worry. Full jars of them. A lot of jars behind this as well.
You do realize that we have the wrong jars, right?
Well,
there we go. So,
the crazy one.
Now, a critical portion of getting approved for a loan is obviously credit. There are a few things. You tell them, Chris, what is that you look for when somebody applies?
So, the very first thing we look for is we put somebody's information in, and here are the three key factors associated with getting a loan. Number one is the ability to repay.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to look at what their income is, and can we qualify you based on your ability to repay, meaning that your income and your assets allow you to buy the home if we require down payments there and be able to pay your mortgage on an ongoing basis.
Yeah.
Number two is, do you have or have you repaid all your debt, meaning what does your credit look like, and do you have a credit score that is consummate with what a VA loan is looking for, or the investor basically is looking for. So now you can do VA loans all the way down to 500 credit scores, but generally speaking, it's about 580 and above.
Yeah.
But that's that's the next best thing. And then thirdly is just what your ratios look like in regards to affordability, because we talk about ability to repay has to do about what your income is, but also affordability in regards to, are you buying a home within the mechanism of being able to repay it back and it not strain you, not strain your day-to-day living, because part of owning a home is maintenance and HOA and unforeseen items that can come up, and water and lights and everything you can possibly imagine. So it's very important to have some of those factors when you're looking at buying a home. And credit is one of the big, we always start off with credit. We always start off with credit, income, assets. Those are the three biggest things we look at. So And a lot of people say, well, is credit hard? What happens if I don't have the best of credit? What happens if I need to establish credit? What happens if I was deployed overseas and I really didn't pay any bills? That sometimes happens, right? Or some of my bills were paid late. And so we suggest, and one of the things that we do all the time is, let's speak about credit restoration. Now, there's no such thing as credit repair. So I don't want to mislead anybody there. I can't go out there, and I can't do it especially, but even an individual that's about to be on the show, even she can't repair credit, but we can restore it. We can actually go out there and say, okay, great, what's going on? Now, if you're not paying your bills on time, there's nothing anybody can do.
Of course not.
Okay? That's the one thing I tell everybody. So if you can't pay your bills on time right now, getting into a restoration, credit restoration is probably not good for you. But there's a lot of inaccuracies in credit. There's a lot of inaccuracies in reporting of credit. And there's a lot of ways that you can actually improve your credit just by understanding it. So that's one of the things I think we wanted to talk about today.
Absolutely. So we're going to bring our next guest, and her name is Lisa Deason with Deason Consulting Service. She's
Hey
a
guys,
tough
are you
cookie.
guys talking about credit? I love this topic. You know, it's amazing. How are you?
I promise we're not talking bad about you, Lisa.
I know, I could hear something about credit restoration and it caught my ear because that is so important for people to
Would
understand.
you like an M&M?
I would, and these are my favorite, by the way.
Another nut. Okay. What is this? There's no plain ones coming to the show? So, Lisa, question, and this is something for everybody in the audience. Most people don't understand credit. They don't know the
That's correct.
factors that go into getting that credit score. Can you shed some light into that?
So, you know, a lot of times people don't mean to get into trouble with credit, but what happens is there's a divorce involved. Maybe there's a medical issue in someone's house, somebody gets sick. And then the other thing is maybe there's a loss of a job or all three of those things combined. And so what happens is when you have things go to collections, or
Yeah.
maybe you've had a bankruptcy, or you've had a repossession, or a lot of times, you know, people will go and have a medical issue and they can't keep up with all the paperwork and they can't keep up with all the debt, and then that really starts to propel
Yeah.
a bigger problem.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we'd like to talk about is it's so important that people know first and foremost what their score is and what is
Okay.
on those credit reports. You can order your reports for free once a year. And it's important to know what's on them because about 80% of what's on there is not necessarily accurate all the time.
Okay. That's
The
important to
second
know.
thing is if you have things that are no longer 100% accurate, such as collections that have been paid, you know, sometimes they continue to report as paid as agreed and they still have to be legally removed
Yeah.
to make a difference to propel those scores upwards.
Okay.
And I tell people all the time, you know, I know sometimes we get behind with things, but the most important thing to do is to pay your bills on time. A late payment can cost somebody about 110 points on their credit.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
So let me ask you this. So let's say that somebody has a 680 credit score. How do, and without, and I know it's a little bit more complex than the question I'm going to ask you, but
Right.
how do they come up with a 680? There are different factors that add up to the 680, right? For example, you know, how much credit do they have? How often do they use it? How much do they pay down? There's a lot of little factors that go into that
So about
680, right?
30% of one's credit report calculation is going to be how they use their credit cards, what they have open and what they carry balance-wise.
Okay.
Then there's another 35% that's going to determine, you know, what kind of credit lines they have. So about 65% of people's credit is going to be based on what they have and what they carry. So I
Okay.
tell people all the time, let's say, for example, you have a $10,000 card limit.
Yeah.
Don't exceed 30% of that when you're trying to purchase a house.
Okay.
Because it drags your score down. 50% you're really pushing it, but it really should be under 30% of the usage of the credit on that line.
Okay. So a lot of times we get asked the question, so in we always turn them away, turn them on to you or to Chris, or then Chris will
Right.
turn them on over to you, but they'll say, well, you know what, I want to get my credit right. I'm going to close these 2 or 3 credit cards that I have.
Gosh, you know, I can't tell you how many times I'll have a conversation with somebody who calls me and says, I'm going to pay that debt and shut that credit card down because I paid it poorly.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, do not do that while you're trying to purchase a home. It'll plummet your score overnight. It'll also erase the history of what you've paid. Whether you've done it a good job or a bad job at paying it, it doesn't matter. You're erasing a history behind it. Say you've had a credit card for 5 or 10 years. You
That's
don't
a-
want to erase that. That's very, very
That's a
important.
good point, and I never thought about that. You're erasing the history if you shut down that credit card.
That's right.
And the funny thing is that, you know, obviously Houston being an international town, we have a lot of foreign nationals that are not used to using the credit the way we do here in the U.S.
That's
so
right.
a lot of them, you know, in places like where I come from, if you don't have the money, you can't buy it, period. I mean, now they're getting better at financing and things like that, but you get trained with that mindset that, so when
That's
you
right.
pay down something and you shut it down, you think, okay, that's positive. That's a good thing, right?
So one of the things that we're really passionate about doing is actually educating our client about how to build positive credit, how to pay their debt down without closing those trade lines down, understanding the dispute process through our attorneys who are actually experts at it. They're actually certified and bonded credit restoration attorneys. Anybody can try to fix their credit, but really when you want it legally done under the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 71, it's very important that you use professionals. And the other things we do is, we help them manage. We teach them how to manage a budget. A lot of times people get in trouble because they just simply don't know how to budget.
Well, obviously we can't cover, there's a lot of complexities in credit restoration, and so the best thing to do is to get a hold of Luisa. She's a great
right.
person, and so Luisa, tell them, how do we get a hold of you?
Y'all can always call me. I speak both English and Spanish fluently, obviously, and my number is 832-244-2488. I'm going to say it again.
Again?
832-244-2488.
Perfect. And how about, do you have a website, email?
I do have a website. It's luisadeasonconsultingservices.com, or you can go to www.decentconsultingservices.com.
Perfect. I'm going to have all the information, all her contact information right there. And she's wearing black, which is great, which I mean, I can put the letters in white, unlike when Chris wears white, and I'm trying to figure out how color I put it. So we're going to have all her contact information. Please reach out to Luisa. Have her have that conversation with her. Let her help you restore your credit. That's a critical portion. And we're about to get this big man back into camera wearing this bad T-shirt. So Luisa, thank you so much
Thank you.
for that. For
You guys
coming
are
in.
amazing. Thank you.
I got
Y'all
99
have a good day.
problems, but credit restoration ain't one. How's everyone doing? Did you have a good conversation about credit?
Absolutely. It's incredible how, the intricacies of that. It's not
Yes.
just a simple thing, but clearly with Luisa, she can get right down to the matter and help you get ready. So then you can go talk to Chris. You can get your pre-approved. And you can come to me. I can help you at the house, and then you're done.
Well, let me tell everybody, we appreciate you guys tuning in today. This is Between Two M&Ms, as we always say. And to all our veterans, thank you very much for serving. We appreciate it. We want to help you out in any which way possible. So don't be afraid to reach out, touch base with us, give us a call, and ask any questions, whether it be real estate related or anything else. One of the things we do, we are very active in our communities. We're very active in putting people together. We're very active in services and different people that we know that offer different services for your home or just in general. So give me a call anytime. My number is 713-256-9138.
281-948-3553, and we can literally put you in contact with anybody that you possibly can need. Again, Chris is saying, he said it himself, we're very active in the community, so we know people from all walks of life, any type of service that you need. Not necessarily, you don't have to come and work with us. We just want to help you. We want to put that out there to help the veterans that have helped us. Now we want to help you. So reach out to us, please.
Thank you all very much for tuning in. Again, next time, Between Two M&Ms.
Between Two M&Ms.
We're out.
Plain ones.